Here's a basic how-to on how to change an oil in your car. I know I have a lot of different followers from a lot of different backgrounds with a lot of different skill sets. So for the beginners, here's a quick, basic how-to on how to change your own oil at home to save a little bit of money and give you a little bit of confidence of doing stuff on your own if you're just getting started doing things. So right away, I pop my hood and we look underneath here, and I've already wrote on here. It takes 7 quarts of oil and I need a 16mm wrench. So you look at your oil cap and it'll usually say on there what you need, or you can go in your glove box and find your book that comes with the car. It'll tell you in there too. So now you can go into the parts store, say, I need 7 quarts of 5W20, and you'll actually sound like you know what you're doing. You give them your make and model of your car. They'll get you the oil filter. You'll also need to know your engine size as well for the oil filter. So let's go ahead and pop this cap off right here. For somebody who's just learning or very forgetful, I like to teach it this way. Take your oil cap, grab the keys out of the car and put them right next to each other. So that when you're looking for the keys to start it, you're gonna find your oil cap. Oh no, did I put oil in it? And I'm gonna know to check it. That's the way I teach it. More professional people, how did you learn, or how do you teach people how to do this? Because this seems like the simplest way to me, but maybe there is a different, easier way. I don't know. Let me know. Now that we have our vehicle in the air, we have to locate our oil filter, which is right here. And you can see we got this fancy little drain that the oil is going to drain down and go into here. Well, since this is a Ford, this is completely useless. And we have to go back to here, and we actually see it's all nice and greasy up in there. It's going to come out back in there somewhere. But while we're under here, we need to find our oil pan bolt. And we got our wrench here. And since we wrote everything on top, we know what it takes and what size that bolt is before we even go under the car. Now that we got our oil draining back there, we'll find our oil filter up here. And as long as the last guy wasn't a national bear wrestling champion, we should be able to go ahead and spin this off by hand. There we go. And we're going to show you how worthless. There goes the oil dripping out and all over the floor. Yeah, we can see it's coming from right back up there. But don't worry, they were trying to fool you by telling you it's going to come out here. It never does. Now I can pull this filter off of here. Okay. And we'll just set our filter back up into there and let that drain. Shout out to Big Richard for still being Employee of the Month here. Paper towels. Also make sure to inspect your bolt too if it needs a new one or if it is serviceable with this O-ring in here. As you can see on this one, that rubber's starting to come apart. I believe this one's serviceable. Now we need to put a new oil filter on, so all I do is I'm just going to grab a bunch of this used oil on my glove. Then I'm going to put it around this ring right here so it's not dry on there. We're going to take oil filter, put them right here and spin them on. And it only needs to be hand tight. That's enough right there. We just need to make sure we clean up everything really good. That'll work. All right, now that we got this thing back down on the ground, we got our funnel sitting in here. We got to add our 7 quarts of oil, and we got the dirtiest funnel I could find, but don't worry, I cleaned the inside of it halfway. So let's go ahead and add our 7 quarts of 5W20. Now that I've added my oil cap's missing. So now I can go back, grab both of these at the same time. I'm gonna put my cap on, and now I'm gonna go start it. We'll let this thing run for about 10 seconds or so. Let all that oil cycle through there. And it's a 5.4, so yes, those are exhaust manifolds leaking. There is no oil change required too, apparently. And don't come for me for not pre-filling that filter either. Never do, never have, never will. So now that all that oil cycled through, we gotta let it run back down, and we're gonna check our oil level. So now we go ahead and pull our dipstick. So we're only to about 3/4 up those hash marks. Now I did this on purpose to show you to always check, just in case. Now we are within range, of course, but we're gonna add just a little more to top her up on the hash marks because it is a 5.4 with 240,000 miles on it. Now that we're all topped off, we're gonna look on the bottom side, make sure nothing's dripping, leaking, anything like that, and we are good to go. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.